Hey Janessa, I'm about to go into the bathroom, do a couple lines of coke. You want to join me?
I don't know about this.
Let me tell you what, big decisions are never easy to make in life. Follow me, let me show you something. Now tell me, what's this person doing right here?
I mean, they're studying, right?
Ah, yes, you're correct. Now tell me, why is this person studying?
To do good on their tests.
You guessed it. And would it be safe to assume they want good test scores to get good grades and learn the material in order to get their degree?
Well, obviously, where are you going with this?
Hear me out. Do they not want a good degree so they can get a good paying and secure job?
I don't know where you're going with this.
Okay, answer me this last question. Why do they want a good paying and secure job?
So they can have a good life.
Correction, so they can have a happy life. Happiness, listen to me, happiness is the end to all of our lives. It is the ultimate goal, no? What's the point of living if you will never be happy? That is why these people, that is why this person in particular is studying. She is chasing happiness. Now this is the purest form of happiness you will have in your existence. The hardworking man is not always guaranteed success. Just look at the Industrial Revolution. All the 80-hour workweek employees that worked during that time period barely had enough to scrape by. But the smart working man, coupled with hard work, will ultimately achieve success. Success being happiness. This right here is the smartest move you can make. All the pain and suffering that you'll go through studying, trying to achieve your goals, this is a shortcut. This gets past all that. This will get you a shortcut to the end goal of your life, to be happy.
I still don't know about this.
Okay, listen. One of the most ethical things you could do in your life is to do no harm. Am I right? Weinstein even said this himself in his very own book he made. Now, in doing no harm, a subset to this principle is minimizing necessary harm. If you take this cocaine right now, you will find happiness immediately. You won't have to suffer for years of your life, and you can just be happy now.
Okay, but if you're saying that I'm hurting myself by not using cocaine, you're wrong. Yes, it can sometimes create happiness, but it also can severely harm you. And you definitely will not be happy. Yes, it might give you happiness for a short period of time, but think about all the long-term consequences from taking cocaine. So I would be harming myself, which violates the do not harm norm, and using cocaine also violates the make things better norm, because if you are harming yourself and dropping out of school for happiness, you are definitely not making things better for yourself or others. So if I want a good career, then I should not do cocaine. I want a good career, therefore I should not do cocaine.
So Janessa, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been subject to peer pressure? Or have you ever wanted something but needed a small push in making a decision? Have you ever felt like doing something or felt the need to do something in order to fit a social standard or to impress those around you? See, my job is ensure you that it's okay to indulge in activities which are falsely accused of being bad. How most people do. As a child, you were taught never to do drugs, never to smoke, don't drink, don't swear. There's a time and place for any and all of those things. Yet your parents are most likely people who drink. Odds are they've at least tried smoking once or twice or done some sort of drug. And I can take a wild guess to say that they've sworn once or twice in their life too. Succumbing to peer pressure is a part of growing up. Doing things in order to impress is a part of growing up. Understanding to fit into social standards in order to feel adequate is a part of growing up. Drugs are not immoral, and taking drugs does not make you an unethical person. It makes you human, just like the rest of us. After all, don't we take drugs or medication in order to subside unhealthy mental and physical difficulties? See, peer pressure doesn't exist when you're already hoping or wanting to do the action in question. Being moral, being ethical, or being virtuous are all things which are achievable even in illegal activities. You'll be judged for drinking alcohol underage, but likewise you'll also be judged all the same for not drinking alcohol underage. These same rules apply to all aspects of life. Abiding by social constraints such as laws and social boundaries is more of a personal decision than societal. See, Mozu helps us to understand this through love, because distinctions are not made in love. Distinctions are not made in love, therefore all should love everyone impartially. So if you love everyone impartially, then a decision through desire for oneself is a decision made in love.
Okay. If you don't mind me butting in, peer pressure doesn't make things morally correct. In fact, just because a group of people is doing something, that doesn't mean that that thing is good. It doesn't mean it's bad either, but what I'm getting at is the popularity of an activity has no bearings on the morality of it. There are multiple groups of people that have done good things, like the Red Cross, and there are multiple examples of when groups have done bad things. For instance, the Nazis, the KKK, any modern terrorist group. Do I really need to go on? In other words, just because a lot of people do drugs doesn't mean that doing drugs is good or bad. We've really just got to focus on how these drugs are going to affect you as a person. And as we've already stated, drugs are bad for us in the long run, and while drugs do provide a one-way ticket to happiness, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's worth taking the shortcut. And also, if we're going to bring the philosophers into this, Mozu would have said that it is important to love everyone as you'd love your family, and this includes yourself. Plato would have made a good point about not doing harm for the sake of justice. So in this case, doing cocaine would not only be harmful to yourself, but it'd also be disobeying the law, and neither of these things are good by any means. And Aristotle would have made the point that if you want to have friends that are good, you yourself should follow good norms. Doing drugs isn't good, and therefore you will lose your good friends, and instead you will probably end up in the druggy group of friends, which won't be good for you ever. Sometimes work is painful, and sometimes it doesn't seem worth it, but think about how you'll feel after you've accomplished your goals. You will get to live your life knowing that you made it good. The happiness you will feel after accomplishing all your hard goals is going to sustain you for many, many years longer than cocaine ever will. Therefore, taking the long way and putting in hard work is better than taking a shortcut and ruining your life with cocaine.
I don't think so. Not today.
Whatever, narc. I guess more for me.
Wow.